Hello and welcome back. I am Aaron from AARONAUTOMATES, and in today's episode, I'm going to be showing you how I take blog post creation on the road with me. Whenever I have a moment of inspiration, which often happens late at night when I'm trying to go to bed, I want to build out some content for either my website on my blog, or for LinkedIn, or for Twitter. And what I realized I was doing is I had way too many ideas and not enough time to actually build out the content. So I created a make.com scenario that incorporates Gmail, Google Sheets, and ChatGPT to get my idea that I have on this content and then go ahead and build it out for me. So really excited to show you this. Of course, we're going to have the blueprints down at the bottom that you can use to access this yourself. In addition, before I get started, I'm starting to create a lot more scenarios and blueprints that I want to share with you. So make sure you hit the subscribe button down here and the notification so you can be the first to see this. I am putting a limit on the amount of blueprint downloads. So I'm starting with 10. So if you want to be one of the first to be notified of these, definitely make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. In addition, sneak peek, I am launching a weekly newsletter called Aaron Automates. You can go to aaronautomates.beehive.com to subscribe to this. And of course, you guys know my Gumroad. This is where I have a number of other blueprints that are available to download. Not too many are left though, so make sure you jump in here and download them if you want to use this. If you want to use this. All right, we're in full screen mode. Let's take a look at what this scenario is actually doing. So we're starting with a mail hook. I'm going to show you the mail hook. If you want to steal this, shame on you. I'm going to notice and I'm going to rotate the mail hook, which I'll probably do right after this call. Just for testing purposes, I wanted to show this to you. So I'll copy this mail hook address for now. And I'm excited to do an actual live walkthrough, so you'll see this in process. But what this does is it essentially receives an email, and then it has three different potential routes that it can go on. So starting with the first one that we have here, the filter is whenever the subject contains the word inspire, case insensitive, it's going to follow this first route. And what this is it's essentially just creating an outline. So when I have an idea, I don't want it to just create a 500 word content because I'm only feeding it like one sentence of the idea. I want it to first send me an outline of what it thinks the content should be, and then I can go ahead and edit it before it actually creates the larger long form versions that I'm looking for. So this one is pretty straightforward. Set up on 3.5 Turbo 16K, have not updated it to 4.0 yet, but this works great as is. Just telling it from a system perspective, create an outline for a blog post that the user will provide the topic. Here's the topic, and it's just merging in the email text. And then I'm asking it to format as a fully qualified single block of HTML with the correct tags for preserving the outline format. And why is this? I'm using email to interact with myself and GPT in order to not have to jump around to like a Google Sheets or an Airtable to get this information. It's just I'm sending an email and then I'm going to get an email back. So I love to work in email as my to-do list. Maybe there's a more efficient way, but this is what I enjoy doing, just emailing myself and then letting AI respond back to me in the same thread. So from here, pretty straightforward, sends an email. So it's going to send it back to the person that it was sent from. So I can use this, and then a friend of mine uses this as well. So we both have access to this. And yeah, so you can use it from any email address because it's going to respond back to the one that sent it. And then I'm just putting in some information in here, and I'll show you what this looks like in Gmail in a second. But why am I doing this? I've been making a point to make my interactions when an integration interacts with a human as clear as possible. So I don't want to have to remember what to do or what's happening behind the scenes. I'm pretty much like hard coding in what happened. So I'm like, hey, hit reply, like add or remove bullets in the below sections to align with your intentions of what you're trying to do. I say what happens next when you reply, give it a minute. It'll then post for a long form, an Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn version, and then a Twitter version. So I'm essentially telling it what to respond to me so I don't have to remember what to do or know what's happening next. It just happens. And then obviously putting in the results from here. So let's test this one out first. So let's go to Gmail And I have drafted it already. So I put my mail hook here. And a quick tip, in Gmail or Outlook, you can actually do forwarding. You probably already know this, but what I would do is I like to send emails to myself. And so I would actually just send this to Aaron@onecreate.com. And then I would create a filter that would forward any emails that have the word inspire in it to this mail hook. So that's something you can set up fairly quickly on your side, so you don't have to like remember. Obviously, you're not going to remember this mail hook email, but yeah, just something you can set up pretty straightforward. Don't need to show you. You can Google how to do that. But the topic I want to flesh out more is how to use AI in customer success onboarding to enhance the client experience and the team experience. Now, I'm not going to remove any of the footer that I have. The AI is smart enough to know that's a footer and not related to the content. So I'm just going to hit send. And we're going to come back here and we're going to watch this take its action. I didn't make any changes. And let's see, this will run in just a second. So I'll refresh this. And I'm going to push pause and go back to the email to show you the result from this first route. Okay, that was a lot faster than I just paused for like 3 seconds and I got the email. So pretty quick. So you can see the formatting that I did in the email. Draft post. Remember that. We're going to come back to that in a second. But I'm intentionally putting the word draft post in there because it's going to trigger the second route. Thanks for submitting. We provided some extra content. Add or remove bullets within the below sections and hit reply. What happens next? Within a minute, we'll draft the post so you can use it on your socials. You'll receive 3 versions. So you can see the formatting that I did in the make Gmail scenario is resulting here. Once you hit reply, give it about 2 minutes to do its thing. Now I created an outline, how to use AI in customer success onboarding, briefly explain the importance, understanding, define AI, discuss benefits, how can this happen, improve team experience, best practices. So essentially, it's giving me the outline. Now, all I need to do is come in here and I'll go over here and I can start making any edits that I need to do. So I'll just add like my past job was the director of customer success, where I created over 10 make.com scenarios to reduce the time to onboard by 15 hours per new customer, right? So I'm just going to add something in here, but let's say I don't want something like this. If this wasn't relevant, I can throw something away. So this is important. Like this gives you the opportunity to actually tweak and change in an outline format that I can just respond back here without needing to make sure that you're keeping the AI on track, right? Now, from here, I'm just going to follow the directions and click send. And now it's a good chance to jump back over to the make scenario to show you what's happening next. So the second route that is happening here has a filter that says when the text of the email includes the word draft post, case insensitive, then I want it to go through this route. So remember in the email, the very top word was draft post. That was intentional so that it would trigger the second route to go through. And what this does is there are three ChatGPT modules. I found it's best to use one for each type of content. And so, but they build on each other. So I'm like, please generate content in 3 distinct formats, clearly separated by HTML tags and paragraphs. And of course, this is going to be included in the blueprint. So you can just authenticate through your OpenAI account, and this will be in here ready for you to use. And I'm telling it it's going to give 3 versions of it. So yeah, so that's what's going to happen in the first one. And then I'm going to actually create an image from this. So I want it to use the text here, and I'm using Dolly in this case. Or actually what I'm doing is I'm creating a prompt first. So I'm saying, hey, based on all this information, AI, I want you to create a prompt because the next one is to create an image using the previous prompt that the AI had just created, right? I messed with the size a little bit. I wanted this to be a square so that it fits on Instagram. It's kind of the most universal size that I'm doing. I want a high quality, standard quality, natural, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, so I've set this up here. So this creates the three content, creates the prompt, and then generates the image, and then sends an email back to me with all of that above, right? And then it stores this in a Google Sheet. So I'll show you the Google Sheets. It's nothing fancy. You can use Airtable, you can use whatever you want. You don't even have to use Google Sheets if you want. I just like to have like a record of what's going on in the past so I can reference it if I need to. But essentially, it's just putting in like any time that this runs, I'll just put in a new row on like who it's sent from, the date that it's sent from, the ID, the word that it was triggered on. So in this case, that was inspire, blog post final. So I can filter and see like, okay, show me all my final blog posts if I need to copy paste it or whatever. This is less important, but I'm just keeping it here for the sake of keeping it there. Awesome. Now we can come to our email again, and this is where the magic has happened. So it says, here's your content. You'll find three versions you can use to post across your social. Simply copy and paste this. If you have any, we're always looking for new ways to innovate. So, yep, since my friend uses this, she's able to kind of continue to give me feedback at hi at one a great. But here's the content. So, how to use AI in customer onboarding. You're noticing that the bullets, like the outline, has now been created into long form versions here. And there's two other versions as well. There's the medium form. So this is the Facebook, Instagram, enhance your AI customer onboarding, provide real-time support, la da da da, add some hashtags. And then there's the Twitter version that fits within the Twitter character amount right here. And of course, we have our Dolly image, which we can open up. And here's our image that we can now save and be good to go. So I have everything I need. So I have the content. Now it's just a matter of getting this into my different channels. Obviously, we can get a further make scenario that actually takes this information and then auto posts it or create drafts posts across my socials as well. That's definitely another video. This is just getting an idea, fleshing it out, allowing me to edit, revise, talk to ChatGPT via email, and then delivering a final version here. So you can see it's pretty scalable in terms of like who else can use it. So it's pretty flexible. Yeah, that's the summary. There is one more route down here, and that is just a fallback. So if something did not happen between one of these, like if it didn't have one of these, it just says, hey, it didn't follow what we're looking for. Try again with the keyword inspire or draft post to get a content for a post. Now, fun fact, I actually don't need to go through the inspire route in order for the second route to happen. If I already have a more fleshed out version of a draft blog post, I can just email it to that mail hook and it'll skip the first route and it'll just go straight to creating an image and the three forms of content and send it back to me. So the first one is just like, give me more info. The second one is actually creating it. So hope this was useful. Once again, if you want this blueprint, you know where to find it below. Like and subscribe for upcoming blueprints as well. It's been a pleasure. I'm Aaron. Take care, everyone.